Hey guys, Paul here from LASHCAST. I needed to do a quick little video intro here because this is going to be a spicy episode. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to talk about the future of LashCon. We're going to talk about what we're doing. We're making some big seismic changes, all good by the way, nothing bad. But we are changing some things up. And also, we shot this session with 4 of us in the room. You know, there's 2 guests here. You'll see who they are soon. And yeah, the camera stuff just wasn't working at times. I'll just say, if you want to get the real thing, just go listen to the audio version online because that's going to be the cleanest. But this is going to be our fun chance where you get to see Paul try to do a live video session while mixing at the same time. And I failed at one point where you get to watch while I'm talking, I believe it is. So that all said, I want to give you a little heads up. Don't worry, don't panic. It's nothing on your side. We record this in real time, and that's how it happened. And I want to give you a heads up before you got in the video and you realize things are made a little janky. It's easy for me to do when it's just Tuss and I and maybe one other person online, but it got a little more crazy when I was trying to mix between 4 video cameras. So I just want to give us a little breakdown or heads up as you're watching. Don't worry, nothing's wrong with your video as you're watching this. It's just Paul. Just blame me. When you go, what's going on here? Why are we jumping around? Sorry, it's just me. But that said, this is going to be an amazing episode. I hope it's actually very encouraging about some cool developments for the future of LashCon. Can't wait for you to see it and learn, or not learn, but hear about it. And yeah, otherwise, let's get into it. Let's get into this episode. Let's get the party going.
Hey, Smart Cookies! Today is a very special program because we have in-studio guests. Yes. And they're no ordinary in-studio guests because they are pretty awesome in terms of the impact that they make on the industry. And I would love to introduce you to our first guest. Those of you who have the pleasure of knowing her, you will know that when I say indomitable, this word describes her perfectly. She is a mover and shaker in our industry. She is in some ways what we all aspire to be in terms of her ability to connect with people and ability to execute and get things done. And if you've ever had the pleasure of connecting with her, you know that she is just a true joy. Welcome to the program, Cristina.
Thank you so much.
That was sweet. That was very kind.
That was sweet.
Yes.
Thank you, Tess. I love you.
It's not fair that it's only just like 30 seconds of an intro because you truly are so impactful that you could fill books. Honestly.
Thank you. Being here is a blessing. I'm excited for this conversation. As Paul said, the tea episode, our tea episode, but you guys are incredible, and I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And then actually, we just showed it on the camera. We're switching 4 cameras. I'm used to doing like 2 or 3, and now I'm doing 4. This is gonna be a little bit more work.
Do you want me to
but
cut
no.
it?
I'll just no. It's all good. So let's introduce our other guest, which I gave everyone. If you're paying attention on video, if you're watching the video, you saw this person for 2 seconds and then went away. Tuss, why don't you introduce our next guest?
So our next guest is, I want to say, the sweetheart of the lash industry. I know that's not her favorite description, but honestly, let me tell you, she is also a mover and shaker in our industry. Not only does she have her own podcast, but she also has her own summit and a school, and she
An online store. And,
that's right.
And retreats.
And yeah, the list goes
the
on.
List goes
I just showed her.
And her
Oh my gosh, you stole my thunder.
Yeah,
okay,
there
it
she
is
is.
Shelby. Welcome to the program, Shelby Tarleton.
Hi.
The original Lash boss.
The original Lash boss.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you and both of you guys. And so what we're going to do today is really unpack a lot of things. We got a long laundry list of things. I have a checklist here.
Well, when you say laundry, it sounds like it's boring.
No.
That everything we're going to be saying is pretty cool.
No, this is all like cool laundry lists. This is like I can't wait to clean my underwear list.
I feel like this is some spicy stuff. Actually, this is the tea.
This is a pretty big episode. I feel like.
Very big. It's almost as big as our mega podcast that we did back in 2019 with you, me, and Tara.
Yes. Do you remember that, Tess?
Yes,
doesn't
I
remember.
do.
Okay,
No, I
thank you.
totally remember that mega podcast because we had that sound effect, and we thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
It was cool.
Mega.
Yeah, it was because I added that afterwards. Anyhow, all right. Anything I do is cool. I'm making up for my childhood.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So that said, what we want to do is kind of unpack what we're doing, and because there's a lot of changes coming, good changes, exciting changes that are going to make your life better, my life better, selfishly, and just really help upgrade LashCon and other stuff that we're doing. This is really going to be a big reveal about behind the scenes what we've been working on for LashCon for quite a while now. I think it actually started last summer because I came to a certain realization that LashCon, as much as I wish I could do it for the rest of my life, I mean, like for 100 years, I'm not going to live 100 years. And the fact is, LashCon always needs to have new ideas, innovation, and that comes from adding people usually, not just one person right on. For most of the first 6 years, actually the first 4 years it was like 100% me, and then the last couple years we've evolved, had some new team members to really help carry the load, and it's been wonderful. And this is our year where we're really expanding LashCon, and we're bringing on players who you guys love and know and can help us really take the ball further. What?
You said that it's going to make my life better, but it's not so much. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but it's actually the whole goal is to make your life better in terms of the lash artist, right?
I'm just being selfish as always.
Yes,
yeah.
it's all about me.
Yeah, it's all about me.
Yeah.
It's about me. All right, so let's get to the first thing. And we'll just there's so many ways to go about this. I didn't even know what's the most dramatic way to unveil this. So we will just do it the way that it pops out of my head. And first and foremost, we want to basically share the exciting news that Christina's here for a reason. She's not just here because she was driving by and saw me and said, I feel sorry for Paul. He should have me in this podcast and make it interesting. No, she was like, I'm going to come because we have something to talk about. It's super exciting. Like, this is when you do a software upgrade, they do like a 1.0, 2.0. This is a huge, we're maybe skipping a whole one. We're going from a 1.0 to like 3.0, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be huge. And you've already seen the impact of what her and her amazing sister. So I thought we'll let Cristina share. Instead of me talking, you can share kind of the big news.
Yeah, so I'm coming to LASHCAST, baby.
Yes.
Woo! Yeah, this is an incredible moment for us. So officially, my title, I will be the Chief Experience Officer at LASHCAST. We are the home of LashCon. And my sister Francesca, who a lot of you knew, have been seeing in the industry behind the scenes. She's incredible. We always talk about how she's kind of like the wizard behind the scenes doing things. She'll be our director of marketing and operations. And we are so honored to be part of continuing the LashCon legacy. And if you guys saw our recent reveal about LashQuest, the rise of the lash artist, and you know that we're really kind of diving into making our experience more ADHD friendly and focusing on the lash artist, we're just so honored, and I can promise you that we're going to do everything we can to carry on what you guys love about LashCon and make sure that Paul and Tess are always going to have the most amazing experience with all of you, because we realize that part of it is that you want more of Paul and Tess. Actually, you want to spend more time with them. So hopefully with my Francesca and I coming on, that we'll be able to give them more time to spend more time with you guys when we're at the conference. And there's more stuff that I can't say yet, so I will follow up with that when we do the rest of our announcements. But that's the official tea. I am in part of the LashCast family, and I'm so happy. I feel like in a lot of ways, LashCon, we talk about how it's a homecoming, and I have gotten to know Paul and Tess over the last almost 2 years now, and this feels like coming home for me. So it really does feel like such a blessing, and I'm so grateful they believe in me, and we're excited. We're ready to rock.
Yeah. No, having you join us is the biggest blessing, because LashCon, it's like if you're in your own business, you always there's a ceiling. Like, you can only go so far by yourself. And when you realize is you need more people, you need more, we'll say, magical people like you two, because it fits with our theme this year, that come along, and there's Frodo, and there's Samwise Gamgee, and like we're building their fellowship right now. Yeah, we're building a fellowship of people who can now take this ring. I don't know where I'm going.
We don't want
to go back to Mordor.
We don't want to go to Mordor.
No, we're not going to Mordor. What's another good?
We're taking you to Rivendell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Rivendell. That's a better place to go. We're gonna go to Rivendell and have fun. And
she's like, can we go Harry Potter references?
I'm like,
I don't Lord of the Rings is not for me. Harry Potter references.
Yeah, I got you on Harry Potter, but
we're gonna make.
By the way, we are taking just so you know a Harry Potter element to LashCon. We are.
I'm very excited.
Inspiration actually came from Shelby with that one. So
so
very excited.
Yeah, so that's so this is exciting news, because LashCon, has been I think it's been growing. It's been doing good stuff. But I need more help in marketing. I need people who really. I mean, if you guys just look at our most people won't see this, but we have a sponsor deck this year. I saw that in the fall after we're at LASHCON. They put that together. It's the most beautiful sponsor deck I've ever read. Like it's like I'm like, this is so cool. Like it is nice. It's elegant. It's clear. It's simple to read. It's clean. My stuff is always just kind of,
you know what it was is our philosophy is shoot, ready, aim. And a lot of times, we just got it out there. And so with Cristina and Francesca, it's going to be more thought out, better executed, and cute. It's going to look good. I mean, you did a good job.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
For an old guy in an almost all-female industry.
You did a good job.
You know that I hate it when you say old guy.
Yeah, well, I'm not a young guy, so I don't know how to qualify myself.
Don't say old guy. But,
Okay, I'm just some, middle-aged guy.
No, that's even worse. That's awful. No, you're like I'm a great person.
There we go.
I'm a person.
Okay.
I think that's just no qualifier is good. But I think the truth is like you've always talked about chopping the wood and carrying the water. And so there's a lot of things that you have to do. And I think sometimes what I look at is people don't really know what it actually takes to put on LashCon. Mm-hmm. They come to the event, and we know we're never going to please everybody. Yeah. But if people actually understood the effort that it takes to put on something like this, a production, and that's people who don't understand, it's a true production, and we want to educate, but we also want to entertain you, want to delight you. And Paul and Tuss have always done everything, like more than you can imagine. I've seen them like behind the scenes in the hotel room at the end of the day, like dead on their feet and like, okay, tomorrow I'm back on. And you don't see that stuff, but they're just there to delight you and make sure that you have a great time. And so for us to be a part of that is such a special thing. And so you guys have done an amazing job. We hope to make you proud. And we will be doing little things, like little small touches to refine stuff. But the main thing for me is like, continue our relationships with our partners, continue to be the place. Like LashCon's always been the place to find talent and develop talent. We'll continue to do that. We'll be that home for that.
I think that this year, we're going to have some new talent you haven't seen.
You've never seen before.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So for us, you may see some different things when it comes to marketing, or we're going to bring in some more AI tools, and we're going to make it AI ADHD friendly for us internally and externally for you guys. But truthfully, it's just LashCon is unique. It's special, and it's part of the fabric of our industry. And I think in many ways, without LashCon, this industry wouldn't have grown the way that it has in the last 5 years. You guys, this is the 7th year of LashCon. And people don't realize that I'm not a lash artist. Everyone knows this, but I come from a business background, and I've worked with big companies all around the world. And from the outside looking in, when we look at LashCon, it helps the individual lash artist to understand that something like this was made for them. It's inspirational, it's empowering, but at the same time, it helps the brands to come together and to have innovation and to compete in a healthy way. And it gives our community a space to show up professionally and let the bigger beauty world know about what we're doing. And so if we can continue to make LashCon bigger and better and more unique, that helps all of us in this industry. It's not just, people at LashCon or the people who show up. It helps the industry move forward and keeps us strong and keeps us sustainable. So I look at LashCon as more of a mission and it's a movement. And so for me, this is like, I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this with you guys. Really.
No, this is a huge upgrade. And the real secret with Cristina is amazing, but Francesca too. Holy mackerel! Wow. She's becoming. I'm just learning about all her skills that I didn't know she had, and has just a great new. We have two.
Well,
for here.
she's super competent, and she's able to execute. Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's great to have the vision. But it's a complete other talent to be able to get the vision to fruition.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people. I mean, I can come up with great ideas, but they're going to go nowhere. Yeah. Francesca's the kind of person that just makes it happen. Yeah. It's like poof, a magician.
She's an executor. Yeah. And she also anticipates. Francesca anticipates needs, which is also, for all of the three of us ADHD brains, we really need someone who can anticipate what needs to get done. Yeah. But she has a unique skill set to be part marketing, and then she was a senior project manager in the tech world for many, many years. So she knows how to handle very complex projects in an agile flow, which for all of us listening, we're in the beauty world, we're like, what does that mean? But it's a serious deal, and it's a big deal for us because it means we don't have to worry. It means we can focus on the creativity and the connections, and she can do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. But you'll be seeing her more as well on the Instagram, and you guys are going to see how funny she is, and I'm excited to see her come from behind the scenes and be more involved in the fabric of what we do.
And then we also have someone that's not here is Ella, who's basically been helping with Clubhouse for last year, is moving into being our production coordinator. So she also is really good at anticipating. Actually, we were doing a live last night,
she was great.
And I was trying to get people set up to come on the live, and I would text her, she goes, I got it covered. She already had texted the person, let them know, come, follow up, make sure they're in the waiting room. And so behind the scenes, she was kind of producing the live for us and making sure all our speakers were lined up correctly. And Ella is awesome. If you've been part of Clubhouse, you know that. She's the one that puts all the videos together, does all the communications, and now she's going to be really helping us facilitate and be kind of the one helping be the glue for everything that me, Francesca, and Cristina come up with. She's going to be running around making sure it happens. So it's going to be really, really cool. I can't wait to. I mean, we went from me to having really 3 now other people helping carrying the ball. And you'll see why that's important real soon when we get to some other things.
The next announcement.
Yeah, so let's get to the next thing. We have another. Why is Shelby here? Is she just?
Yeah, why did Shelby fly all the way from Austin to be here in Pasadena?
Yeah, I mean she's here for just like 6 hours too. It's a really short trip, but she's here because we have something very exciting. And
I'm so excited. I'm freaking out about this right now.
And this again has a lot to do with the longevity of LashCon. It's not just about what can we do with LashCon with me and Tuss, but what can we do over the next 5, 10, 20 years? Where can it grow? How can it continue to sustain itself? And it's not going to happen if I do it. So we're going to have to bring a new caretaker. And so that is what we're doing. We're nothing. I'll just say this. This is kind of like a preliminary, our letter of intent. We'll call this. This is our letter of intent. We want to do this. When we thought about this, who would eventually run LashCon? We both went. We looked at each other and went, Shelby. I mean, who else would we trust? No one. I mean, we wouldn't want to sell this to some, because there are groups out there that do events. There are people who run events and they buy events and all that, but they don't know the lash world. They don't care about lash artists. They just care about money, and the LashCon would change.
And they don't have the spirit. They don't have the same spirit. Shelby has the spirit of community. She loves these people. She does so much of what she does because she loves lash artists. Yeah. It's not about money for her. It's always about, like, I have this great idea and I'm just going to go with it. It's one of the things I admire about Shelby the most is she never stops to second guess. She just does it and makes it happen, and she never quits. And she will always keep the legacy and the heart of it the same, which is lash artists. She will always keep the industry at its focal point and love people and make it about people more than anything else.
Yeah. She's our tribe, and that said, so we're excited. Shelby's going to be, right now we'll just say, she's going to be the next caretaker of LashCon. When exactly, I don't have an exact day. I don't say it's tomorrow, but it's in the coming years, going to be transitioning. She's going to get more involved. She's going to be more part of it and all that. Tuss, I know you keep touching me.
Well, you said, like, if it was up to me, it just wouldn't happen. And what I want to say, like, if LashCon was just in your hands, it just wouldn't continue to grow. Yeah. But what it's important to understand is that what we're doing is we're planning for the long game. Yeah. And in terms of longevity and legacy, we're not always going to be around, and we want to make sure that we are still in it right now. I'm not trying to say that we're going to retire or anything like that, but we're just planning for it to be
sustainable.
Taken care of.
Yeah. We need a caretaker.
Yeah.
It's
sustainable. It's LashCast and LashCon being sustainable, but we didn't really clarify what that means. So Shelby, tell us what that means.
Yeah. It's on you. It's you. After all that, you're just sitting there like a bystander going, wow,
she's like, and I'm here, guys. I flew all the way here. Tell us what that means.
Well, first, I just want to say I'm so honored to be that person, and we've talked about it several times over the last few years, and yeah, it's a big moment, but I definitely still want LashCon to feel the same and to carry on the legacy that you guys have created. And I have my own event currently, Lash Boss Summit in Austin, and I want to keep those kind of different. I want LashCon to feel like LashCon and Lash Boss Summit to feel like Lash Boss Summit as of right now. So I have no intentions to really, I don't want people to really feel that it is different, like, oh, Shelby came in and changed everything. I really don't want that at all. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be, that's why we trust you, because I know you care about what we've done and you want to grow it and you want to keep it. Why we have a time period is part of this is to transition the leadership, to help give the training wheels of how we do things. That's why Cristina is so important, because she's the glue. Like, she's going to be the one that oversees the operations, and her sister as making sure LashCon has a system. Because one of the things when you run a business, and Shelby knows this with her salon, and we did too with our salon, if you just run it by the seat of your pants every day, it's a hot mess. It's just chaos. You have to have systems. And
you have to have a roadmap.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to say, this is where we're going, and this is how we're going to get there.
And that's what Shelby, or what Cristina did last year. We were talking about bringing her, and she was consulting last year, just purely on the side. Says, well, how do you do LashCon? It's like, it's in my head. It's all there. I mean, I have notes.
So where's all this written down? He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
and
what's
so that freaked me out, because it's like, if anything were to happen to Paul, like, where would LashCon be? And I'm like, please, honey, you've got to get help. We've got to make sure that this will carry on even without us.
We need to codify it, right? We need to sit down, and it needs to be a playbook, just like you have for your salon. You know how your salon works. You have all your systems. So Shelby has that, and I can't just hand off a mess and go, well, go figure it out. Here's our event. It's on you to go figure out when to do things, how to do things. I have all my notes, but it's not organized or codified. So what we did is, last year, Cristina forced me to write it all out. And I did, and I wrote it all out, and I basically created a little mini playbook, we'll call it.
It's over 30 pages.
Yeah, it was a lot, and so I got that done, and then I handed it to them in December, and I said, please do something with this and we can make it. So we're using a software called ClickUp, and it's basically a management software program, but it's so much more powerful than just like a to-do list. There's all these tools and stuff, and what's nice about it is we can put it in there, and it'll tell us everything has to get done.
Yeah.
And it's not finished. We're
still working. It's work in progress. But what the point will be is that once it's time for Shelby to come on, it's a one-click template that we'll be able to just put on there, and then she can go and add her magic to it.
Yeah.
And for me, as the person who's like part of the in-between, I cannot wait. Like, I love you guys, but Shelby is one of my best friends, I would say, and I absolutely adore her, and I think that she understands how to do things also a little bit differently than either of us. And so what she'll bring to LashCon, while keeping it like the heart of it, she has a magic about her that is more than just like being sweet or kind. She's a mixture of like grit and spice that people don't fully understand. She is like, people don't fully, I've always said this to you, she's like the hidden ninja no one really knows about behind the scenes, and when she comes out, people just assume like, she's so soft. She's a spice. She's the original Lash Boss.
Yeah,
she's the Lash Boss.
No, I have to concur. The feeling that you get when you meet her is connection and sweetness, but behind that there is a boss who is able to get things done.
Yeah 100%. So I can't wait to work with Shelby and have her be involved over the next couple years, and when Shelby eventually owns LashCon and she's doing that, like, I think that you and I are going to be able to take LashCon bi-coastal, global, who knows? Like, I think you and I will have the most amazing time serving this industry, because I know that between us, we're going to, good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Come at us.
No, it's going to be great. Well, you guys kind of are already bi-coastal in a way, because of y'all have the mini LashCons going.
Shows,
But yeah, it's going to be great. But just know you guys will always be honored. Every year I'm going to figure out how we can honor you guys. And I know you guys aren't going anywhere anytime soon. So
no, it's not about like, I know your heart, so thank you for that. But honestly, it's not that I don't want to be like personally honored. I just want the vision for the lash industry to continue to grow, and the individual lash artist to be seen, and to have a place where we can celebrate her. That's what I want. I don't want to lose that at all. I want it to be a place where people feel seen and their needs are met.
Well, with that being said, I want to point this out. You're not off the hook, because we will never be able to beat Tuss. The truth is that every year that you are alive, you will be at LashCon. They will always be here, and Tuss will always be the person who is taking that 10 minutes to introduce a lash artist to someone they didn't know and hold their hand and give them, like, I've seen it happen in person, and she did it for me when I first became involved. And Shelby and I love people, but the way that you connect people together is a magic that you bring to LashCon. There will never be a LashCon where Tess is not involved. As long as you want to be, I would say you have to be. I'm like, you're not off the hook, Tess.
Oh no, Lord willing, yes, I am here.
You will be here, and you will always be a part of that. And I think both of you will always be a part of LashCon, whatever it looks like in the future in some capacity. But that also, I think, Paul, brings us to the other big exciting news. Right?
Yeah. So the other thing that we're excited about, and this is, we want a caretaker. We have Shelby coming out. We have Cristina help run it, her sister, and we have Shelby coming over. And we don't have an exact timeline. Once we know, we'll make those announcements. But over the next, we'll just say coming couple of years or something like that. The goal is to transition with Shelby. But to help with that, we thought, well, we should have some caretakers who help us oversee and be kind of in the know.
Council.
The council.
Like, the council, like the powwow. Like, are you supposed to, are you allowed to say powwow?
I don't know if that's appropriate.
No.
I didn't mean any disrespect. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the council of like.
The truth is that LashCon is the industry's event, and there will be always many different events that pop up. And I think that Summit always will be, it's the mastermind, it's the intimate one, it's the one that gets you connected in a different way, and it allows you to stay in one space and just immerse yourself in really deep connections with people. And LashCon will always be LashCon. It's the industry's conference. It's the industry's big event. It's like our Super Bowl. And so when we think about that, this is why it makes so much sense with Shelby coming on to do this, because it's the perfect marriage. But the council is like, if this is the industry's event, let's get the industry involved in providing feedback and giving advice and support, because it affects the entire industry, and we want the industry involved.
Yes.
So what does that look like?
Yeah, we have an advisory board. And who is on this advisory board? I'm going to tell you who we have so far. We have a couple people I keep trying to reach and they haven't, so I can't say who they are. But we have basically LashBox LA is going to be on our board with Nikki Jacobson and Sylvia, who's the owner. She's going to be there. Mindy Lim from Alibana is going to be on the board.
Love it.
So we have two big giants of our industry. Ali Lilly from Lash Bomb / Lash Anarchist is going to be on our board. We're excited about that. Kathy White from the Lash Co. Maddie and Elliot Morris from Lightheart Lash. Reggie, is it Palin?
You can just say Unfold. People will know.
Unfold
Reggie from Unfold
Aesthetics.
Aesthetics.
She's going to be on. I feel bad. Sorry, Reggie. You're like, man, dude, you suck. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Reggie and Unfold Aesthetics.
And then we have Shelby. Shelby's going to be on our board. And we're excited to have Shelby. We have Becca Hannigan. Why is Becca? Who's Becca? She's the one that runs LashCon and LashCon. She's our president.
Becca is like the secret sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the one that gets things. She is Paul. She is like a clone of Paul at LashCon.
I basically hand the keys to the car when I show up at LashCon on Wednesday. Go, Becca, here's the keys. Take care of my baby. I'll be back on Monday to pick it up.
She does the run of show. So she's the one that's really, you guys don't realize there's hundreds of people behind the scenes working all LashCon weekend, and she runs the show. Yeah,
she calls all the shots. I really make no decisions at LashCon, or rarely. Maybe once a blue moon I get called in and say, hey, we have this going on. Can you decide what to do? But generally she makes all the calls and has been amazing. So Becca's going to be on our board. Lacey Salem. So someone, again, you're like, who's Lacey? Lacey is someone that we know very well, is actually going to be running our training programs on the East Coast. And she loves LashCon, is a Lash Award winner. Excited to have her. And then Jade Vapey is another person who is actually, she's just a super fan. Like we were looking at when we're trying to think of who can we bring, because we want some big brands, some regular brands, we'll say up and coming brands, and we also wanted just some lash artists and staff and all that. So Jade is on because if you've been at LashCon, you know her. She's amazing, and she's on board. And then we're gonna do some other things. We're gonna have a couple other people. Of course, Cristina is with us. We are the caretakers. All of us together are going to be meeting a couple times a year to review things, to look at notes, get feedback. Because everyone else all these people are involved in LashCon in one aspect. They're either speakers or they're sponsors or they're attendees. And so the good thing about this group is they'll hear all the stories. They'll hear the good things, the bad, and the ugly. And then we'll get together and we'll break it down and we'll find what we can do. Because we want LashCon to be for the lash industry. It's not for me. It's not for Cristina. It's not for Shelby. It's not for PLA or Lashbox LA. It's not for any of the. It's for all of us. It's one big tent that we all can once a year meet.
The truth is, we never can make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Right? We know that. We know that we'll never make everyone happy, but we know what our intentions are. And I think having the council, we know specifically what we picked are people who are not afraid to tell us when we're wrong.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to say, hey, here's areas for improvement. Here's some opportunities that we could explore. And so that's really important to us because this is the industry's event. And so it belongs to all of us, and we have to be good stewards of that. And so part of that means sometimes hearing the good and the bad and being able to nurture changes as we need to. Again, knowing like, give us some grace because we'll never always make everyone happy. Sometimes we fumble, sometimes we make mistakes. But we're trying to do our best all the time, and we're doing it for you. But the other part of that, and you didn't say it, but I'm going to just drop it, is that we're always going to try to have, may not be something we announce this year, but we're going to start to do the year after that, is we'll always have one seat that will be on this council that will be an application from people who have attended the previous year. So if you attended LashCon the year before, we will always have an opportunity for you to apply to be on next year's council. So we always have somebody who's a voice that is, doesn't matter, big brand, small brand, influencer, lash artist, educator, just someone who believes in LashCon, wants to volunteer to make it better and to be a part of that fabric, be part of the history. So that'll also be something to look forward to, is that you'll have an option to, or an opportunity rather, to apply to be a part of that.
And I just want to make it really clear that you don't have to be like a brand owner. You don't have to be a speaker. You can be a lash artist who lashes from home.
Yeah.
You just have to have attended.
You just have to have attended, and we'll have those applications for next year. We might even have them like at the end of this year's LashCon. And so that way, if you were there and you were feeling the fire, you can apply. And we're gonna make sure that we always will have a seat at the table for, you don't have to, you could have 3 followers, doesn't matter. If you attended and you believe in LashCon and you have something you think you contribute, well, there will always be a seat at the table for one of our tribe to come and be a part of a conversation.
I think we should call it the fellowship.
God.
It's
the fellowship. It's the fellowship. People are gonna be like, the 3 nerds got into a room, and now it's and then Shelby's gonna call him and she's gonna be like, now we're not doing the fellowship. Now we're gonna be at Hogwarts, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm good with both.
What would be the equivalent for if like the fellowship? What would we call it if it was Harry Potter?
Like the order.
The order. Oh yeah,
the order.
Yeah. I love it.
You nailed it right away. Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Shelby, I want to ask you though. Shelby, what I would love to know too is, what are you the most excited about when you think about LashCon?
I have been to LashCon every single year, and I love it so much. I'm a fan of LashCon and have always been. I'm just excited to be a part of it behind the scenes in a way. Just I've gotten to speak at LashCon, but I mostly just love being an attendee and soaking it all up. I feel like I try to go to every talk that I could go to and just to really immerse myself in the experience. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm just going to go sit in my room. I just finished my talk or whatever.
Yeah.
I truly love the event, and I think it's just very meaningful to me to just be a part of it in a different way. And
can I share? I want to share a personal story. I think it was last year, or maybe the year before that. And you and I talked about, it was like where we had to start to become like closer friends. And you mentioned, you were like, people saw me and you were so happy to be there. And I remember you telling me, you're like, I just realized like I needed this. I needed the energy of being at LashCon. It was like refreshing to be around everybody. And you're like, I didn't realize how much I just needed to come to LashCon. And that's why, like, for me, it's so cool to have you specifically, because you actually you show up to support everybody. Like, I don't know if people know this about Shelby, but she pays to be an attendee at the course or at this or at that. Like, she will show up to support the community and be a part of the experience. And like, you just, I don't know. I'm maybe bigger fan of Shelby's than I should be, but I just think you are going to add something so special to this. So.
Thank you. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm a huge fan of LashCon, and I do always feel like that every time I get to come to it. My heart does backflips, as I say. So yeah.
I think that's actually one of the reasons why we love you so much, is you are about supporting the industry. People don't know behind the scenes when you're dealing with this, and Shelby knows this too. Everyone wants to be a speaker at your event. Everyone. I get all sorts of people reaching out to me all the time. And then I often check, and this is, by the way, if you want to be a brand ambassador, make sure you use the Lash brand that you're calling that you want to be an ambassador for. It's amazing how many people reach out to brands, go, I want to be your brand ambassador, and they go and look your name up and go, you've never bought our products before.
It's the difference between, that's somebody who's looking for a JOB, which
Yeah.
is not bad. We all need to have a JOB, but it's, if you want to work for a brand, there's a passion behind it, and that's what the brands are looking for.
Yeah.
They want to work with somebody who wants to move the needle and be an ambassador for what that brand is doing, instead
Exactly.
of just, oh, I need a steady paycheck.
So I love that Shelby goes to these things. So she's come to premiere, she's come to the course, she's gone to these events, and just comes as an attendee to support. Most other speakers won't, not most, a lot of speakers, they won't come. They're like, I'll come when you invite me to speak.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
it.
Good luck, because guess what? That's not how we play anymore at LASHCON.
Yeah.
LASHCON, you gotta love the event, you gotta want to be part of the event.
You gotta serve
come.
the community. You gotta have some. It's gotta be in your DNA that you're caring for other people. It's not about just, putting yourself on a pedestal. It's about the down and dirty, getting in the trenches with your fellow lash artist.
And we go. I was like,
No, I was gonna say Wednesday's a really good example of that. So Wednesday this year is speaking. Wednesday's been coming to
5
LashCon
years.
for a long time, and she's never once been like, I'm not gonna go back because they haven't chosen me.
Yeah.
She's like, I've been a sponsor, I've been a speaker, I've been at this, I'm gonna do all these things. Now she's gonna be hosting a breakout session. I'm so excited. I feel like she's really coming into her own on social media too, so the way people are looking at her and giving her props.
Yeah.
And so she's a great example. She kept on showing up and supporting because she loved the event. And when Paul and Tuss look at applications and they're looking at people to speak, they're looking at who shows up, who has come before, who not only do you have something to share, but you believe in the mission. And it really is more than just an event, it's a mission.
Yeah.
And the key that I want to just emphasize here is also the serving.
Yeah.
Because there have been people that have come and have really good intentions, but they show up, but in terms of actually serving and reaching out and connecting with other people, that element is not there.
Like Shelby said, she's not one of the people who will speak and then go straight up to her room.
Yeah.
I understand sometimes you need to like decompress a little bit.
For sure.
Like Tuss and I know, we get it. Like
You can
ADHD.
decompress on the plane.
Yeah. Shelby's like, no, you got to come downstairs.
You power through it.
You power through it.
The difference is that some people will go and they will look at LashCon as if it's a stage to parade around in.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you, because it's nice to have those feelings.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between somebody who wants to do that and then will go out and connect with people. Like maybe not the most popular kids in the room, the ones that maybe don't feel like they have a place. The speaker that will go and seek those gals out or guys and spend time with them. That's the heartbeat of LashCon that we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, because that's the thing that makes the change. It's when you're connecting with the people. It's not when you're getting the accolades, and like, take my picture and let me sit first on at the speaker's table.
Yeah.
It's about making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
So no, I think it's great, and that's why Shelby is such a great, I think, person to hand things off to, because she has that heart. And really, it's not normal. That's not the normal way most people work. Most people, they speak and they just want to go to their room and hide, or fly in and fly out. Like they're literally there for maybe a few hours to do their talk, and they're not there to serve the community. They don't love the community like Shelby does. And
last year, again, Shelby, don't kill me because I'm like totally just talking about you, and it makes her uncomfortable. People talk about her like that. But last year she came to Premiere Anaheim, and I asked her, I was like, what are you doing here? Like, she's like, I'm just here to support. She came in, she didn't have to. She wasn't even feeling well. She came in to support. And I was like, oh, well, you should go and like talk about Summit, or like you should do this. And she was like, I don't even think about that stuff. She's like, she's like, maybe I should. She's like, I'm just here to support you guys. Like, I just want to hear. She sits in the sessions. She listens. She doesn't need to know how to do this technique. She knows. She's a freaking boss. She has a salon. She has a school. She does everything. She sits in, she listens, she shows up, she cares. She sits in between sessions and talks with everyone. She doesn't show up because she's asking. She's not a pick-me girl. She goes there and she says, I'm here to help you feel good, and if I can be there, I want to help support you. And that's unique. It's not like he said, it's not a normal thing that most people do.
No, it's
and
not.
that's why you're the perfect person to, if they were ever going to let go and have someone buy LashCon, it would be you. And if I ever had to work with someone to do an event or do any kind of thing, it would be you. Like, you know that. Like, she's special. She really is.
Thanks.
I will say this because I make a lot of sweeping statements, and then Tessa always comes back and he goes, you know, when you said that, you just threw all these people under the bus and made them feel bad. And I'm like, so I will say, because we have so many good people that love LashCon and support. If you're listening going, wow, I guess Paul just thinks I'm a user. I'm not talking about you, okay? I'm talking, there are other people that come or don't come, by the way. In fact, we're less inviting people who are, I would say, the takers. I look at the world, there are takers, there are givers, and there's matchers. There's 3 people. And basically, Shelby's a giver. She's definitely a giver. But there are takers. And takers, they're just, what's in for me? What's in for me? I don't care about you. Give me what I need. And they're always trying to find how they can get what they need to elevate themselves, whatever. Those are the people we're basically talking about. And it's not even like half the audience. So if you're in that, oh crap, Paul hates me. Okay, stop, please. Just, you're an exception, okay? The person who's feeling, you know who you are, the ones that do that, okay? And you're probably not even watching right now.
No, they're not even watching.
You're a taker. You don't watch other people's content because it doesn't give you anything. You can't take from a video or a podcast, so don't worry about it.
Go ahead. You do it.
I also feel like this is sort of like a full circle moment for us because how long have we known each other now?
2018 is when we got to know each other.
I thought you were saying 20 years. I was like, come on, Paul.
2018.
2018.
7 years now, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when you guys first told me that you were going to do LashCon. And it's crazy. Like, we have supported each other so much over the years. And it's just, I couldn't love this more. This is honestly one of the highlights of my career, I feel, or my life even, you know? It's a really big deal. I just have to say.
Well, I remember when we first started our podcast and you had an episode, I think, ahead of us, and we really wanted to be friends with you.
Actually, we were first.
Were we first?
Technically, yeah.
Technically,
I thought I was first. It was y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just remember you came
Not
out.
Not by much. I mean, we're talking about like
a month or two.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Well, when you came out, we're like, oh, she's doing a podcast too. We really want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
And we're like, she's so cute, and she gets all these people, famous people, on her podcast, and so we kept like saying like, hey, go check out Shelby's Lash Boss, because we like so wanted to be friends with you. And then you were like friends with us. Like, I mean, we just felt like so honored.
Fangirling.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we clicked right away. We had so much in common, like just with having salons and everything. And just crazy how our story has evolved to now.
You did the Las Vegas party together.
Yeah, a couple times. We've worked together
several
times.
So like that's the thing is people don't realize they've worked together many times before. Paul and Tess were hosts at one of the retreats, like one of the guest people.
They just came to attend.
They just came as attendees. Like that's even how much of the like connection it is, right?
Yeah, like we've worked together in a few capacities. Like we've hosted events together. I've helped with Premiere San Antonio and like all the times we've recorded podcasts together. So
and also when we were at one of our lowest points in our entire lashing career.
That's true.
The struggle and the pain of the salon, and many of you guys know we had a lawsuit that was against us, which we had to close the salon. And Shelby, you just showed up for us when we were at our absolute lowest. There wasn't anybody else that could.
I don't think anyone knew our pain like Shelby. I mean, Shelby wasn't closing her salon by any means, but she had gone through struggles too, and been through, and actually did close one salon to focus and kind of re-energize her business and be more profitable.
No, but we had to be leaders. We had to be, on stage, and we were just wounded and bleeding and eviscerated inside and gutted. And you were safe to talk to, and you met our needs in such a profound way. We always said at the very beginning, there's something so special about her. Yeah. And I want to just share with the audience that one of my most special moments in life was being able to talk to your father at the end of your conference and like from one parent to another, just tell him how special you are. Because parents, like, they see their kids, but like to hear it from another peer, how much we love you and respect you and how much you've meant to us in our life. It was just really special to share that with him. And so that's actually one of my most special moments in life. So
Y'all made him cry, I think.
yes, he did. He cried.
That was our goal. Just just get him cry.
wanna make people cry.
We're just users.
No, I just wanted him to know that as a parent, that he did a really good job.
Yeah.
My mom too, yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
Both.
Yeah, they were both there. Yeah.
Both there. So it was that was cool. So we should wrap up soon, but we'll share two more truth bombs. I don't know, whatever.
It's the tea episode.
Tidbits.
More tea coming. All right, so Clubhouse, you guys already know this. We did our video for you guys this week, or this is probably coming out the next week, but you guys all know this. So this is a public announcement. We are going to temporarily shut down Clubhouse. Clubhouse has been a blast. It's going on
Just a little pause.
Yeah, and the reason why is because we have so much going on right now with LashCon, and truth is, we had big visions for Clubhouse. We had thousands of people. That didn't quite happen.
We didn't meet the numbers,
Yeah.
and so we had to look at it. It was costing us more. We still want to serve in that specific capacity, but we have to pivot.
Yeah. So we're going to be taking a pivot. We're going to pause it. We're thinking we're going to still do once a month lives where we just hang out with people, chat, answer questions. Our tribe will come. I'm sure you guys will all be there who've been coming with us last year. And then hopefully for others, they'll be free. They'll just be free. You just come, hang out. We'll probably do an email once a month saying, hey, sign up for our webinar, free Q&A, whatever, with Paul and Tuss. And then we'll just hang out for a couple hours and be with our family. And so that's what we want to continue to do while we rethink things. And we're going to be asking, we already asked our Clubhouse, but we want your feedback. What can we do? How can we truly serve? Because something in the industry that we come up with ideas and we think, oh, this is going to be great. And we just go out and we do it and we think everyone wants it. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you come up with an idea and it's not what people want. You're like, oh, this product's going to be amazing. Everyone needs this. I'm sure some of you have tried a service. You're like, oh, I'm going to add this new service. It's going to be amazing. Everyone's going to love it. And then no one wants it. They're like, nah, I don't need that product or that service from you. And you're like, crap, I dealt training, I got all this product, now I can't do anything with it. Well, that's kind of what happened here. We felt like we built something, but it wasn't exactly what the industry needed. So we're going to wait and listen and pay attention a little more and hopefully come back with a new incarnation that will better serve our community, that really gives you what you need, not just what we want to give you, but serves you. So that will be it. You always can email me, reach out and say, hey, actually, you missed the whole boat. Here's what you should be doing. Give me that thought. Give me your feedback. That's how you will help us grow. That's how we've always made LashCon better. So it's definitely a setback for us. It makes us a little sad because we didn't want to do this, but at the same time, we want to be able to serve the community where it really has impact. Like LashCon has impact. We're not worried. LashCon is serving, meet a need. Clubhouse, not so much yet. So we'll see.
I still think that. So I want to encourage everyone, if you are watching, listening to this, please sign up for the LashCast newsletter. There will be more things coming from Clubhouse. Like Paul alluded, we're going to be doing a lot of free webinars and free moments and special things that come in under the Clubhouse umbrella, because we always want to welcome people into the Clubhouse. That's what it is. It's like they always say, they're your friends in the lash industry. So they will always make a space for their friends in the lash industry, potentially still having little guest hosts come on. Yeah. Maybe Cristina will be doing more ADHD talks in there for all of you, because it seems to be something everyone wants there. Maybe we'll have Shelby come pop in and talk more about things that she's doing. Cycle syncing as a thing that I really want to talk about more.
Yeah.
So Clubhouse is still there. We're just changing it. Like they said, we're going to do a little pause. And this is the greatest time, actually, I think, to pause, because there are a lot of changes happening in the industry, and we have to pause and kind of look at what is needed. And so if you're on the LashCast email, sign up to be part of the newsletter. You'll get the first, be part of the LashCast family. You'll be the first one to know when things are coming, but also hit reply on the email and let Paul know, let me know, let Tuss know what it is that you want to see more of and what you need right now, so that the Clubhouse can be reformed when it has its phoenix rising from the ashes moment in your image and what you need. Because the truth is that we all need to focus, all of us, we're focusing on sustainability. We need more lash artists in this industry doing great work with sustainable careers, whether you're working in a salon or you're working on your own. And Clubhouse was always meant to be a place for you to be able to get resources so you could be sustainable. That's what LashCon is. It's what Shelby does. I've had girls I've sent over to Shelby to do in her schools. Like, if you want to learn how to be a lash artist in Texas, you shouldn't be going anywhere. But I mean, not trying to be mean. We have other partners. I'm not trying to be mean. But go check out Shelby's schools. Not trying to say anything bad. But the truth is that Clubhouse is just taking a small moment, and it's going to come back bigger and better. So make sure you sign up for the newsletter.
All right, and then the last T. All right, here we go. Hold on a second.
Is it piping hot? It's kind of.
It's cold tea.
It's cold tea now.
All right, the tea is no longer hot. This is like, whatever. After all these things, there is a big driver behind some of this that, aside from, Tuss said, what happens if you get sick and you're not able to do LashCon? I'm like, well, LashCon won't happen. I mean, like, that was definitely a wake-up call for me. Like, okay, we got to shift. We got to pivot. We got to do something different. But the other thing was, Tuss and I have been asked to join a company. Like, what? Some people are going to go, oh, I know who it is, Paul. All right, we are going to be joining TAD. We are going to be working basically to help this consumer brand. It's another, I'd say, kind of vertical. We've never been in this world. Like, we know the Lash World. We've been in it for 20 years. We love the Lash World. We love serving the Lash community. But this is a chance for us to do something completely outside of our comfort zone, to help grow a startup brand and go to the consumer. It is totally different. I'm way out of my comfort zone, which at my age is actually scary, but it's actually really fun. I've always wanted to be part of a startup. I've always wanted to have a chance to grow a brand that's not in our Lash World, because I feel like we've done that type of thing, but now we want to go and see, can we grow a brand? Because no one's really made that gap yet. A bunch of lash brands have tried. But no one has really been able to cross over into the consumer market in a successful, big, large-scale way. And TAD, if you guys know TAD, they're a DIY lash company based out of Reno. Michelle Wynn from PLA owns it. It's our new company or new venture. And she asked us basically last year, and it took some time to work out the details. Because basically when she asked, I'm like, okay, I need to get people to help run LashCon. That's when Cristina came around. And then we're like, we need to get a new owner. Well, that's when we talked to Shelby, and she was like, yeah, this would be awesome. Like, all these things kind of came together. So once those are all together, I came back to Michelle, and we're like, yeah, we can do this. We can make this happen, because I have people I trust emphatically to run and operate and lift up and take it to another level. So LashCon, by the way, Tuscany and I are still involved with LashCon. PLA and TAD have no ownership, okay, of what we're doing. They're completely removed. In fact, the approval point, they're not even allowed to be on the leadership council. And so we're like, you know what? Michelle has a lot to say. She's a very smart person. If you know her, she's also a very sweet person, kind. But we really want to make sure there's clear lines, clear boundaries to protect LashCon and make it serve the Lash community. The last thing I wanted to hear, and the thing I was most worried about, is like, oh, PLA just bought LashCon. It's now a big voice piece for LashCon or for PLA, and I no longer trust what you're doing at LashCon. LashCon is going to be run by eventually Shelby, and Cristina is highly involved in the daily operations. We're going to have a board of advisors who would sit there and scrutinize and look at things and make sure that the integrity of LashCon is protected, so that Tuss and I can go and do something really crazy, and that's try to run a startup. We're also moving to Reno. That's the other big deal. So, yeah.
I am still going to be lashing.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be lashing in Pasadena. I'm going to be in more of a consultant kind of context.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to give the lashing up yet.
Yeah, she's not giving that up, and I'm going to be basically helping run strategy and sales. So my job is to help make connections, get us into box stores, distribution, all that fun stuff. And so already I just started kind of part-time and just to test the waters out recently, and so far I've been loving it, and so much so that we said, no, we're going to move to Reno. We're going to keep our offices here in Pasadena, so Tess will be down here flying a couple times a month, and then we're going to be renting out our rooms. So that's going to be something new. We're going to be basically a booth rental salon here, and then we will be, we're going to have a lot of plates spinning is what we're going to have. That's why we need Cristina on board to help run it, because if I trying to run LashCon and I'm trying to help work at TAD and still do all this other stuff, not going to happen. Not going to happen. So this is how the future all kind of comes together, and that's why this is all kind of like in one big episode. So that's it. That's the tea. If you guys have questions,
Can I just say something really quickly before we pause?
Yeah.
So TAD, the cool thing about TAD that I love is that TAD's a 3D printed DIY. It's the first 3D printed DIY lash. It's made in the United States.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I have ocular rosacea, And so for me, it was really challenging. Like I've only recently gone to a thing where I can really use extensions the way that I would have liked to. And I used TAD when we were at LashCon. It was the first time that I used TAD. It really made a difference for me in my face. So I actually think there's a lot of synergy with you guys, particularly being the people who help to bring some of that out there, because I think TAD can still help lash artists. You know, it's something that allows a lash artist to offer something else if their client can't do lashes, and also to make some more money if they're going to try to go do like bridal shows, or you know, they're going to do a bachelorette party or something like that, and they want to hit up a lot of people in a short period of time. So I actually think it's really smart for you guys to do. But I also want to let you guys know, Paul and Tess are still going to be doing the podcast. They're still going to be massively involved in LashCon. They're not going anywhere. We're just like switching some things up and bringing in more talent and bringing in Shelby. Shelby will be, you know, I'm going to be asking Shelby, what do you think about this? You think this is good? So we still have so much stuff that is coming. So that switch of you guys going up to Trina, I'm just super excited for you. And I love that Tess said too, she's going to be more like kind of a consulting role up there. So she'll still be able to be part of all of our worlds. Yes. And we wish you so much luck. Like this is going to be such a cool thing, not just for you guys, but I think for the industry. Like go do it for us. Make it big.
You know.
I just want to say one thing. So in terms of like TAD is a DIY lash. And I some people might think, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to gut our industry? No, we're not. This is a different product. It's not necessarily for, I mean, professionals can use it. It is primarily aimed at the consumer market. But I firmly believe that the lash world is big enough where we all have a piece of, the pie is big enough. That's what I often say. So, I mean, I'm on the board with Loom Robotics. That is the robot that does lashes. And some people have said, are you coming for our jobs? I'm like, no. Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is that the pie is big enough. The people who are going to go for that kind of service might not be somebody who wants the one-on-one with the lash artist. But the thing is that Loom needs lash artists to do their work, okay? TAD, lash extensions aren't for every single person, but the consumer market needs something too. But it also something can help the lash world.
Well, I mean, here's a number I heard from some brand that I forget who I heard this. I think only 20% of women have actually had lash extensions.
No, it was from Loom.
It was Loom. Loom had done some studies to find out who has done lashes and or had lash extensions done. And you, because we're in the industry, you think, oh, it's everyone. Everyone's had it at some point. No, actually, only 20% of people out there who are walking around, women, business bosses, all that stuff. Only 20%. That was 1 out of 5. That means 80% of people are still looking for other solutions. So the industry has so much more room. And what we saw with Loom is like, well, they're going to serve the people who can't do more than 30-minute appointments. And there are people that are like that. There's no way you're going to get me in the bed for 1-2 hours. But we will say this. We think Loom's going to be a gateway drug. So people are going to get their quick 30-minute appointment and go, oh, this is really cool. And eventually, we all know it. I want more.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, I want more design. I want more level it up. Yeah. And the only way you're going to get that is going to a real lash artist. The robot's not going to do it. It may be in 20 years, maybe never, because it's nuanced, right? That's not what the robot's really great at. So we think that this could actually, and we believe right now it's going to actually build our industry, get more people in lashing, which will actually grow the pie. Then, what's about DIY? Like, is that, some people say, oh, DIYs help hurt our industry. I know I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't have any impact. That's not true. It has definitely had an impact. Some people, during hard times, they look for cheaper alternatives. But it doesn't replace lashes. Why do I know that? Because Tosh has been wearing DIY, and she's like, Paul, I'm a lash girl.
I'm a lash extension girl. I mean, I love the DIY. It's great. But I'm the kind of gal that wants the extensions.
Again, it's a different segment. There's that 100%, that pie, right? 20% are for lash extensions. We get 80% right now to go to mascaras, DIY, strip lash, robotics, whatever else. There's so much pie, guys. So don't worry if you're listening to some of this going, oh, they betrayed us, they let us down. I promise you, we wouldn't be doing it if we felt that. The money, you can't pay me enough, all right? It just is not enough for me to want to hurt the industry and go against the very people I love and I've served for the last 7-8 years with our podcast and LashCon. So with that in mind, we saw this as a pivot to go into a consumer product, something completely different, very much out of our, like I said, comfort zone, to challenge us it's going to be.
So we're still growing.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have some gas in the tank.
Yep, and we're going to stay involved with LashCon even as the transition goes. The plan is not for us to leave LashCon. I hope I'm one day show up in my wheelchair and I'm in the middle of the dance floor spinning around.
Oh, you will be.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, she'll be like, yes, you have to be. Absolutely.
Shelby out there pushing me around.
Absolutely. But you guys, we're so excited for you. Like, we're so excited for you. We're excited for these changes. This is the truth, guys. Like, what you just said is so important. I hope you guys, if you're a lash artist, you're listening to this. There is so much room to grow. If only 20% of people have actually experienced lash extensions, imagine as you get better, as your technique grows, as that life cycle changes, there's so much room to grow. If it's been a tough year for you last year, just know you're not alone. It's a season. Things will be coming back. They're going to get better. Yep. And this is where LashCon comes in. It's where TAD comes in. It's where all these innovations come in, because innovation drives the industry. So we're excited. I'm so like, thanks for having me at the table. Like, I don't know. I'm so excited. Like, this is rock on, guys.
Woo! Yeah. All right. So that's the tea. My tea is empty. Well,
no more tea. Tea's done.
No more tea. All gone.
Shall we read the tea leaves now?
Yeah.
Tea leaves.
I wish if we could maybe know what the future is. Like, oh wow, we all become millionaires off LashCon.
I will say though that
that's
no, it's not enough money.
God works in all things for the good of those who love Him.
Yes,
amen. That's true too.
Amen. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Most of you are probably listening to this because our YouTube channel is definitely, which will be good, because at one point I was talking for like 2 minutes and the camera was on Shelby the whole time. So hopefully Shelby didn't have any.
Well, she's so cute. She's so cute to look at. So
Shelby's like,
Shelby is mortified right now.
Oh my God.
not just her pretty face.
Yeah.
Oh
so this was all I'm sitting there. No. It was. Yeah. I
we'll
said
take care of it in post. Don't worry.
Unfortunately, I can't. I realized.
Oh, no.
I don't have to record 4 cameras.
It's all right.
If it was on Zoom, I could, but it would be recorded. But because
okay.
everything that's shot here goes onto the computer and it's recorded in real time.
It's okay. It's shoot, ready, aim.
Yep, that's it. It'll be a little disjuncted if you're watching the video. Thank you for sticking around this long, because you got to see some weird shots. But audio-wise, all of our audio, which is probably 98% from people, you guys will know any better. You'll just go, it's another LASHCAST podcast. That's all good. And by the way, we're still going to do this. Don't feel like we're not leaving you. LASHCAST, I can't leave the podcast. I'll be on my dying deathbed, like, okay, guys, just talk about it one more time. Before you die, make sure these things are. No, I don't know. I'm just gonna make sure we're doing it, because I love doing this. It's part of my fun. We already have studios. We're gonna be set up at the TAD headquarters, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be doing it from Reno. Come see us, by the way. I don't know.
Live from Reno.
Yeah, live from Reno. No, we have to change, because we say from the City of Roses. It's no longer that. It's gonna be from the biggest little town in Texas, or whatever it's called.
Biggest little town.
Biggest little town?
Nevada?
No, biggest little city.
Biggest little city in the world, yeah.
Biggest little city.
Yeah, we're going to have to change our tag, because we're no longer the City of Roses.
Never been to Reno. Excited to come visit. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. We have actually 4 seasons in Reno.
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even know what to do. I'm like kind of scared.
Anyway.
All right. So, yeah, me and Cristina. By the way, if you guys don't know, Cristina and me, we don't need anything but just a mic, and we can go on for 4 hours.
Yes, you can. Create your own fun.
Yeah. I don't need anyone else. I can just sit and talk, and that's why me and Cristina, when we work, it takes 10 hours.
By the way, if you're watching this right now and it comes out, wait, what is it, March 11th, or is this going to come out
before that? Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
March 11th.
Yes.
Live on Instagram, the first time that's ever been done, ever. We're going to be on for 10 hours live on Instagram.
I might be 12 by the time I'm done, but yeah.
I don't know. We're going to be hydrated, but we're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to have special guest speakers. That's going to be March 11th is when tickets for LashCon 2025 get launched, and
be there.
Be there. IG Live, March 11th. We're going to start at 10 a.m. PST. We're going to be on for 10 hours.
Yeah.
With amazing fun things coming on, ways for you to win prizes. So if you're listening to this, come join us. LASHCAST and LASHCON will be going live March 11th, 10 a.m. PST.
And we're going to be giving away some free tickets for LashCon as well. I think we decided we're going to upgrade some people from standard tickets to VIP tickets.
Oh yeah, I'm into that.
And then our sponsors are going to be giving away stuff. Some of our speakers are going to be giving away stuff. It's going to be crazy, guys. It's going to be 10 hours. And
you don't have to stay the whole 10 hours. You can just pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out.
Yeah, pop in, pop out.
Yeah. And I'm going to be drinking sake. I decided. I'm going to celebrate by drinking sake. I was going to do champagne to celebrate. I'm like, no, why would we drink champagne? Champagne sucks.
I didn't know it was that kind of party, Shelby. So I'm excited. I'll be bringing bourbon with me.
That's right.
So you'll be seeing me. By the end of the day, we're gonna have different voices.
Yes.
Paul's gonna be in some costumes. I'm gonna be drinking bourbon.
Yeah.
You guys, this is gonna be a wild one. You're gonna not want to miss. So March 11th, come find us on Instagram. I didn't know this was gonna come out before then, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
Now you know the tea, and you got invited to the next online party. So come and check us out.
It's going to be huge. All right, guys, thanks so much. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to serve you guys. We love you guys, and we'll see you again here real soon.